Feature Friday.
The freshest.
A deeper dive into Marathi music, and which is, of course, now I've learned from the Maharashtra state of India.
So much for learning, huh?
I read the comments right before I sort of do these reviews, but my memory always fails me, and my grades will be evidence for that.
Okay, I do apologize also for the setup. We're working through it.
Yeah, we're changing shit around.
It'll be better, I promise.
I do want to say as well, new channel's coming. Wow, that took a while, didn't it? But one of the first channels that has come is like movie reviews for Salvation. So
we're moving things around in the studio, so bear with us.
But that'll be in a different sort of part of the studio. It won't be here. This will stay like this. But we thought we'd change the wall and we're going to get some new shit. But anyways, a deeper dive into this. Shreya Goshal singing, which is amazing, featuring Ajay, Atul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's the other way around. It's Ajay Atul featuring Shreya.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And very difficult. The reason why we don't check out so much music from like Marathi stuff is because it's very hard to find translations, like genuinely difficult to find translations. But hopefully, these videos become popular enough that they sort of spark attention of these labels and they can even themselves create translations for international viewers, or we can at least
rely on you. And if you do know, you can put it down in the comment section below and I'll pin you.
And that way people, because people watch from all over the world, as you guys know, they'll be introduced to new music, which is the whole point of this. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
To Chand Rati. From the same movie that we watched last time. Maybe Chandra means it'll be okay.
It felt more like a name, like it had so much power behind it. This woman's voice, though, she does feel soothing.
What the fuck? That musical, that note journey, it's only available in India. Literally, I feel like that's an ad. But that type of musical journey,
only in India.
Yeah, like that traversal of notes, not available anywhere else. I genuinely think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree.
There's not many composers that would dare to do that.
No, I do agree. Also, given the fact that I don't know, there's such a dark element surrounding the environment of the characters. The choice of journey, singing wise, it's quite harmonic. Because it gives you like up to that point, up to the resolution of the singing phrase, you had this idea that there was a comforting aspect, there was something sweet and nostalgic, something that would drive you away from conflict, but then it gives you conflict right towards the end. So this cloud of temporary comfort is just that, temporary. So that's where I would lean towards.
He has come to pass.
No, the good moments only last so long, type of thing.
Yeah, they have come to pass.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Okay.
I have to say as well, she seems to be pull it back. That scene's really powerful. I love that scene where they go to kiss, and in the last moment there is something withholding the maximal expression of love.
Which is also the resolution towards the resolution of the singing phrase that gives you also suspense.
With that bizarre traversal of notes.
It gives you conflict instead of release a resolution.
I think it's also giving you complexity. Like
correct.
It's like it's a conflict, but it's not a simple conflict. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, go on.
Couldn't agree more. Yes.
Swell.
All major keys, all bright.
Take it away. Yeah, Chandra is a name, I think.
Maybe an endearing term. Ooh, so nice. You see conflict underlying always. It's a turbulent waters.
Dude, these places are fucking gorgeous.
I love how they work in silhouettes. Oh. They're talking through radio? Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Boss, I think that's probably the best like depiction of what that sense of awe when you look at fireflies or when you look at things that create like
this magical
beauty.
essence, and yeah, that is, it's beyond expression.
Yeah, when you look at beauty, I think literally auditory wise, if you were to explain that to someone, this is what it would sound like. That's literally
The violence in the background.
pause. If you just listen to that,
Swell of
you
the
close your
violence.
eyes, you don't know anything about the video, you would probably imagine yourself, well, just do it. You'd probably imagine yourself like you just
An
discovered
enchanted
El Dorado.
forest. Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes. I agree. It's something unnaturally fantastical about the human experience.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why she's so sought after by composers, Shreya, because she does have this capability of sort of because of that sweetness of her voice, that natural sort of timbre. She has that capability of creating that. Because essentially, I mean, to a certain extent, like in like archetypal stories,
Yes.
like feminine energy can also be depicted as like in mythology, for example, it does this really well, where it's like Mother Nature, right? It can be depicted as things of like with sense of wonder, a spectacle that could all come to an end because fireflies die.
Yes.
And you can
It's all momentary. That's what I feel like
come
it's
to-
happening here. Like the blissful moments of peace and harmony, that they're just little bubbles that could burst at any moment. And I feel like that's exactly what the composition it's trying to allure. There's magic, there's essence, there is withholding of passion, but
It's
at
like
the same time,
enchantment. She's under a spell, and I
correct.
think the
But
reason why
the spell is temporary. It will break at some point. You know.
temporary. That's right. Yes,
Yeah, temporary.
Go on.
Oh, what a shot! This man is trouble, I can tell you that much.
Another great example of like visual and auditory stimulation. You get the introduction of the curtain for the first time, and you get that sort of depiction of this might be where the like in you know in the human experience, to utilize your words. Yeah, put it up, leave it there. In the human experience, right, you get sometimes moments, and that's why, you know, there's religion, spirituality, essentially, where there are like they just feel inexplicable. There's a connection to something else, and moments like this and emotions like love, that's probably like a great representation of what it's like. It's like that's a pure
like
human interaction. They are as pure as it gets.
And
but
there's a touch of the beyond with that the glare of the light sipping through.
But it's so pure that there must be other forces at play.
Correct.
And that kind of the shining through the darkness allures to that idea that there's some magical, fantastical, universal power at play, and you're simply witnessing that. But for them, they don't notice the beauty of that scene. They're simply living in it, feeling the passion and the emotion of love.
Yeah, correct.
So that's fucking sick.
It is a universal overall.
Correct. Doesn't matter where you're from. You could be from China, the US, Hawaii, Australia. You look at that scene, you look at that picture, and I want that framed. And it's like, that's what the depiction of love to me is. It's like the connection between the ethereal and the everlasting, however lasting the representation of material existence, of just the human experience, because we're here to pass, so we're all gonna die.
I do think like this would be a great picture to represent peace overall. Like, this is what it must look like to find perfect comfort with somebody.
I think it's also I think that also shows enlightenment. I mean, not to be sort of too literal, but he is becoming a better man by loving, and she's becoming a better woman.
I don't know what the movie's about, and I have no idea what their relationship is, but I can tell you that man is trouble.
It's an interesting storyline. I don't guess it.
Me neither. But that's perfect comfort. Every time.
Oh, shots! That's some good cinematography right there.
The lighting, bruh! And nothing more romantic. Lighting is everything. Guys, what on the earth? I have no idea. I'm telling you, this is just
Come on, let's use our skills. Come on.
The sweetest moment. I'm telling you, this is all temporary. This is where they fall in love and everything is fine, and they pursue and everything is wonderful. They find comfort in each other, and shit's about to go down after. Like, this is only halfway through the movie, okay?
But they hasn't. You know who it reminds me?
He's trouble.
These guys, I think it's Ajay, Atul, the composers, right? They remind me like that idea of a 4x4, but with the representation of the drums with the bells. And kind of like in classical Hindustani, you do that a lot. But it reminds me a lot of like Sanjay Leela's composition.
It does. It's the epicness, the focus on igniting emotion through
eruptions of
percussion.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying they're the same. They're obviously unique at their own thing.
This is fantastic musical writing, though.
But it seems the best of the best in India tend to have these commonalities, because I genuinely think they just hacked it. They figured out it's like a flutter of the heart can be best described by percussion and high frequency sounds like bells or curtains.
But it's brilliantly added, though. Like, think about it.
Curtains, not in the literal sense. They are a little instrument. You go like that. It goes.
It does feel like the addition of the instrumentalization of the drums, and especially when it comes to like the minor percussion throughout the song, it feels so subtle until those accents in the percussion come to life, and they only come as transitioning effect, like a transitioning sound effect, just to heighten the passion, just to remind you that you're still alive in the moment, like you're still within it.
Who was the composer of the Dune musical score?
It's Hans Zimmer. That totally escaped me. I'm very sorry.
Well, he also does a lot of stuff with DC, doesn't he?
The most iconic soundtracks of the movies that you could ever think of is Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, if we ever become famous and like people hold our opinion to somewhat, I don't know, respect, I guess, I could get access to some of these composers. I would love to hear their thoughts, not in a technical sense, because I think technical wise it would lose too many people, because it would lose me, I would probably lose you, maybe not you, but it would definitely lose me. But I'd love to listen to how they would break this down, because this is how we broke it down. This is the Waleska Efra sort of take on this, right? Then I would love to see someone like Hans Zimmer like sit down with us and sort of be like, because he wouldn't do things like this. He would do things very experimentally, but this is the Ajay Atul way. There's the Sanjay Leela way. There's the Pritam way. You know what I mean? And then there's great composers from different industries and different parts of the world. I'd be so intriguing to look at. Maybe they're already aware of them. They probably are, I would imagine.
I would think it wouldn't be too far-fetched, because given the fact that such experimental composers like Hans Zimmer, they take inspiration from a lot of worldwide music.
Dune is the best example.
I feel like there's a lot of those worldwide influences in their compositions, and I believe that a lot of the globalization of certain sounds have come from those compositions.
The more popular sort of, especially India, because India has such a vast variety of sounds.
Arabic music. I think that was definitely the breakthrough.
I think those are top three. It's like India, Arabic, and Afro have sort of inspired so much in the West in terms of musical scores for movies.
And I also think, depending on the geographical aspect of the movie, the Asian empires like China, Japan,
South Korea.
So they kind of a lot of this Hollywood Western musical composers tend to dive in deeper into these things that any other parts of the worldwide music aspect
seem to be like untouched gems. Yeah,
correct.
still till now. Like, it's very rare when you hear like on a musical score a banzuri, or it's very rare when you hear in a musical score a tabla. Like, you'd never hear that shit.
Yes.
Or it's very rare when you hear what's the instrument? A guyigom from Korea. It's like this huge accordion looking thing mixed with a fucking harp, but you play it on the floor. It's very rare when you hear all these sounds. Like, you wouldn't, you know?
Yes.
So, anyways, let us know what you guys thought about it.
It's always enlightening. Let us know more about the storyline. I want to know about the plot.
Yeah, and goodbye.
Goodbye.